Yes, yes, yes. If you are not a member at runpuresports.com, you might want to think about becoming a member. Giblets44 is the promo code. It's still going. You got until Monday with that code. It gets you 44% off your first monthly payment or weekly payment if you just want to sign up for a week. It also gets you in to a drawing for $1,000. We're going to give away $1,000 to a member, just any member. Giblets44 is the promo code. On top of that, we have a member that wants to give away $1,000 for just, I don't know, because he won $59,000 last night on Showdown. Big T, IPT 007 is his name, and he's giving away 3 Wildcat tickets because of last night's slate where he won just under 60K.
Yeah, it's one of the best things that Run Pure. This always happens. People get a big win. They give back to the rest of the community, give themselves another chance. Like some people don't play high, and it gives them a chance. People on this show, he's going to give out 3 of them. So a lot of the people that grind the $5 and $10 single entry, the mini maxes, you get a chance. And everyone remembers when even me, I remember when I first started playing, you get a chance to enter. I remember winning some tickets and different things through however you got them. And you'd always get that blood pumping when you'd step it up a notch. And it's a great feeling. And it's just awesome when members do that. It's always been that way since day one here too. And I also love how you said drawing. You added an R in there somewhere. Is that a Boston accent? Drawing?
I can't help it. When I say that word, I don't know what it is. I know that I'm probably just a little slow, it's fine, whatever.
Boston,
but
I think it's the accent.
It might be the accent, the Worcester or Boston accent in me. I don't know what it is because
he said I heard that too. The drawing.
You know what though? Fuck you guys. That was a fire intro. You guys can screw off. That was a professional intro right there. And now you're making fun of it. It just makes me want to say fucking drawing so much. It just wants me to say it even more.
Absolutely,
now.
You lean into it. And you
I might
right
just say it every time now we go live. I might just talk about it. We might need giveaways for every time we go live just so I can keep using it over and over and over again. So I at least have until Monday to use it in every show we have. So I'll look forward to that as we go through this week of shows. But we're here. We're going to talk the Turkey Day slate for some NFL DFS talk, for some NFL winners. Obviously, with Thanksgiving on Thursday, it's kind of a crazy week, Tony, with a lot of things going on and stuff like that. But we still had to get a show in for the people, and that way they can watch. Obviously, there's some news we're still looking over, but we had to get on and talk some football winners for the Turkey Day slate.
Yeah, and obviously people do a million things this week, go out of town, family comes in, hang out with friends. Everybody's got stuff going on, or Thanksgiving week, obviously. And yeah, we'll put the show up. People can watch it. I don't think there'll be that much like news that is going to change between now and then too. But if something happens, obviously Discord, and we'll update all the content as we go too.
Yeah, nothing we can do. If something random happens, a guy gets ruled out, we'll obviously update it. Use the code Giblets44. Become a member. 44% off. That deal is going away on Monday. So you got only, just under a week left, right, Tony? We got until next Monday is when the code goes away. So if you're looking to use it, you got until Monday. Get in now. We got the Turkey Day slate on Thursday. We've got Showdown on Friday too, right, Tony? Chiefs and Raiders on Friday. Bunch of college slates going on, college football, college basketball. Our boy Stevie Boynton's been grinding the college basketball streets. So, we got all these sports going. This is a crazy week for sports. Even though it's Thanksgiving, there's so much sports going on. We got NBA tonight. It's just, in-season tournament. It just keeps going with sports.
These are the weeks, too, my whole life. These are the weeks casual gamblers gamble more than ever, because when you're hanging out with the family Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and everyone wants action. There's not many people that I know, even the people that don't gamble like on a regular basis, when you get together around the holidays, they like to throw a few jibbies in there on some games and stuff. So this is the week to do it. Where did Where was the line at on my right here? Taylor doesn't know. You should be able to tell by looking in my camera that there's not going to be a crash out because I got the old camera. You got to have that inside intel. Definitely under 1.5 crash outs here.
I could have gave you that inside info. You should have asked me, Taylor, before you put that up there, because that's an easy under.
I mean, I always look bad, but I look extra bad when I'm on the old camera.
Yeah, you look bright, bro. You just look bright. That's what you look. I mean, it's fine. Okay, I look white. You look bright. It's okay. Like we'll live. Okay. Tony didn't spray tan today.
Yep, give it to me. The fade does look
good. Just showing off your fucking hairdo. Screw off, okay?
Chat said it. They said it looked good. I agreed with them.
Unbelievable, chat. I mean, come on. Look at this. Look at that. Yep. You see that, right?
I mean, look at that puff.
He said puff. All right, whatever. How did Bean Air? What are we doing here? You that must have been you, Tony. I was like, who hit that button?
If I did, it was on accident.
JSU's lettuce is undefeated.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that even. The what? I'll tell you right now.
God, now I'm mad. This guy's not winning the 333. LeBron's? Ooh. I'm not. No.
That is front running. No, you can't. That is front running right there. You know what? You know how many comments you've given to people making fun of me? That is a front running comment right there. For sure. I mean, that is great right there. I mean, I think that's why he wears the hat. What do you guys think?
No, that's not true. If I let it grow out, it would be heavy. I do not have a hair problem. I got a lot of problems. I'm fat, a lot of issues. Hair is not my issue.
We almost got a hat slam. We almost got it live on air. I thought he was going to do it. I really did.
The hat slam does come when people start acting like I'm losing my hairline, because I am not. That's by my own choosing.
It's what happens when you get a haircut every 10 days or whatever the fuck you do. Like,
gotta
you
stay tight.
No, he's serious too. Like, I was at his house one time and he had Amber literally just like cut a little like snippet of his hair because it was like growing a little too long in one point. And he like noticed it and he's like, Amber.
Exactly, Mandrews is in contention for the 333 today. He knows.
Hey, listen, we got to give away 3. So you know what? You can have your front runners. I can have mine. And then we'll meet in the middle for 1. That's what we'll do here. You'll have yours. I'll have mine. And then we'll meet in the middle. So guys, we're going to give away those 3. Now, there's 2 things for the giveaway before we get into the slate and we'll give them away. But you need to have Venmo 1, and you need to be a member at Run Pure Sports, Tony. Those are the fans. If you're not a member, what's the code they can use to become a member right now?
Giblets 44.
Bang. Giblets 44 is the promo code. You need Venmo as well, because that is the way you will be getting the money, is through Venmo. So those 2 things. Member at Run Pure Sports.
The one in the middle too. I'll say it right now. We're meeting in the middle on one. Whoever sends a picture signing up today, send it to Twitter. Tag me and JSU on Twitter. What are the Twitter tags?
At JSU Rab, at Big T44 DFS on Twitter.
All you got to do is sign. It can even be a weekly. Sign up for the weekly. 44% off, Giblets 44, or monthly, Giblets 44. Tag us on Twitter. If there's only one person, they're getting the 333 ticket. Yeah. Everyone that tags us is in that makes it easy. One of the 3.
That makes it easy, obviously. If they if just one of them tags us, then we just know who to pick.
Only one that get the 333. I mean, that's one of the 3, and then he'll pick one, and I'll pick one.
I like it. I'm in. Can I send another picture? Well, Tony won't pick you, but you'll at least be.
I love you, Majerus, but I can't pick you if you're doing warm water. JSU might though. See, it's like politics these days. You got to pick a side and decide what you can get in on. I mean,
that's it.
Warm water is going to get you in on one side, but it's going to get you out on the other.
Yep. Yeah. You left, right, center, but you got to be one way for you to get picked. Warm water, JSU.
Said about the unsub and re-sign up.
Now that is a sharp move from K Reed right there. I love that. JSU looks like he could be from Khabib's camp. Yeah. See, this is what I go. I tried to explain this to my wife. I want to look like an MMA fighter, so maybe people are a little afraid of me. She said, "You need a fucking haircut, dude." I was like,
"Yeah, I agree with her, like usual."
Yeah, she is smart. I will say that she is definitely smart. But I'm not getting my hair cut until December 1st, I think it is. So she's gonna have to suck it up for the next, what is that, Tony? Like 5 days?
Too long is all I know.
6 days. It's the 1st or 2nd or something
get
like
a cut
that.
before the holidays. I mean, her family's coming in town. You can't have them thinking that their daughter lives with a dude with that much hair.
Well, they're gonna see me and they know me. So
I mean, we gotta get to the barber. We gotta call the barber. We gotta get in before Thursday.
I mean, you know me too. I've let myself.
He says. Oh.
See, these are why our shows go way too long, because the first 15 minutes.
How would this show be though? They should do one where we get the wives on here. That would be a good show.
Kelly actually has been saying stuff like, "I'd be good on a podcast."
Everyone thinks they would until they're actually on here having to talk for a while.
Yeah, that's what I said. I go,
I want to see her and Amber on here. I think it would be good content.
I think it would be good content too, but the problem is when they don't know what to talk about, when it's not like scripted, how do they react?
Good, though. You just throw them into the fire.
Yeah, you got to make it.
Oh, yeah, my God. Looks like a bald Gronk. I don't know what to think about that. Is that good or bad, Colton?
Dude, what do you mean Gronk's the best? What are you talking?
But it's a bald Gronk. Would Gronk be as cool if he's bald?
Dude, I'll tell you right now, that dude would be cool no matter what his fucking head looked like. That dude is just a cool ass fucking dude. He's super down to earth. He's not an asshole. He's just a really good guy. He would be cool no matter what. He's one of those type of guys. Like, you could probably hang out with anywhere and you'd have fun no matter what you were doing. That's a fact.
I think we should get the ladies on the podcast and give them some topics.
So we'd have to give them topics, like scripted out?
Not scripted, just give them a couple like talking points about different things.
Now,
we can even have the chat bring it up. Like, what does the chat want to know from their side?
What does the chat want to know?
I mean, they can be workbench questions, sports questions, whatever they want.
I don't know if we should let Beanair ask any questions. That's all I'm going to say.
Beanair might not be allowed on the panel.
He might not be allowed.
Q&A.
Now, there's no way.
Does Big T actually last a minute and a half each time? Yes, he does. Correct.
Where was that? What was that thing you were saying? No way, JC. Yeah, no, we have to get him on the podcast because then all the stories will come out. Big T lasts a minute and a half. JSU the reverse. We're good. Yeah, let's get it on here. I want to hear that stuff. So verification, people. Verification. JSU 5'1". Oh. Damn you like it. Shut it. I'm not 5'1". Don't make me pull my license out, people. Don't make me fucking do it. I'll pull it out. It says 5'6" on it. No matter what. Even if I think I'm 5'5", it says 5'6", no matter what. It's all that matters, right? All right. Let's get to the football talk here, Tony, even though I'm sure the chat would just love for us to, keep talking about this bullshit for another hour. And do you want to pick the winner at the end, Tony? Is that how you want to do it?
Yeah, we got to give time. Beating Air signed up for Braziers on there and tagged us.
All right, you keep an eye on the Twitter.
We got one entry. One person's in there and signed up for the full load too. So that's a good one. Only one in. Signed up for the full package too, the full Monty.
Love that. All right. Well, you're the front runner right now for at least one ticket. That's all I got to say. You got to be the front runner. Yep. Oh God. There's too much. This chick thing might be the greatest idea you've ever had, Tony, or it might be the worst idea you've ever had.
The
I
best
can't
part
tell
is
you.
the way we both are, though. I wouldn't even care. She could talk about anything, and I wouldn't care.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't care.
That's the best part about us, though. Like, we don't care about that stuff. She could literally say anything, and I wouldn't care.
Trust me,
It'd be
my
good
wife will
content.
be way more embarrassed to answer questions just on her own than I am about anything she could say like yes or no to, like in the world. Like I am not going to be embarrassed at all. So
I don't think there's
look at me. I walk around like this, people. I don't give a fuck. Okay, this is what you need to know.
Literally anything she could even say that I'd be embarrassed by. I mean, everyone already knows I take my shirt off to take a dump. I mean, they know all the.
That's not even embarrassing though. Like,
I mean, I'm trying to think of what she could even say. There's nothing I'd even be in. Oh, okay.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I like. If I were you, I'd be embarrassed about. But except for when you call your wife down to have her literally just snip a piece of hair.
Again, I wouldn't be embarrassed by that though.
All right. I don't think there's anything. I think you'll be fine. So I think we're both good. All right, football talk here, Tony. Let's get to the winners because we got another show after this. So we got NBA talk later too. So we can't be on for 3 hours here and then go right into the NBA. DraftKings though, $5 milli. What do you think of these contests? They got some nice contests over on DraftKings. Nice $5 millionaire maker. Do you like this small prize point for the milli?
Yeah, I like it, and it goes back to the same points we always talk about, though. I like it for different reasons than other people probably do. Like, some people probably hate it because there's so many people in it and the prize structure sucks. I like it because you can play it different and you can just take chances and just play aggressive at certain angles. Like, I don't think it's the greatest tournament to just slam chalk in there and stuff. I think it's a great tournament to take chances, which, looking at this slate, does feel like a slate you can take some chances on too.
I would not want to hear this argument, but it's fine. I love the $5 because, like you said, you can be super aggressive. I know there's a ton of people, but these are the type of millies where I think you want to be overly aggressive. And like you said, you don't want to push a ton of chalk, obviously, but like at certain positions, you can make cases just to go all in because there's just so few options. And I like slates like that. I like slates where it's like, give me one or two quarterbacks on this slate. You know what I mean? Give me one or two defenses, and let me just kind of run. I'm going to fade a team or two, maybe. Like you can make stands like that, or I'm going to like game stack this game on all my team. You can do stuff like that. And it's just a fun sweat. You know what I mean? If it goes your way, it goes your way. But spreading it out is tougher on these type of slates because you're going to get the guys that do what I just said and are just like ultra aggressive. And I've seen people on these 3-game slates, Tony, with that strategy ship the millie. So like I know it's kind of like maybe a lose everything or win everything strategy, but that's what I want in a $5 millie. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier when it's that price point as opposed to a $20 price point. And we talk about this all the time where it's like, $750 and $3,000 or $3,750 if it's 25. Yeah. Like those are totally different. You know what I mean?
Especially when the structure sucks. Like you're still playing these things for like top couple spot, first place mainly, but top couple spots. So like if it was like a totally balanced thing. So it's one of the reasons I don't mind maxing MMA as much because like you're just spreading it more and you're getting some like with this structure though, you could easily just get zero back. So it's like I don't know. I agree. I like playing it super aggressive.
I do too. How do you want to go about this, Tony? You want to talk about it? You want to go position by position? Yeah. You want to just go game by game and talk about it?
Positions.
Okay, cool. We'll go position by position then, and at the end, we'll give our takes on like if you like a side or anything like that. We'll give like our bets and stuff like that at the end. We can do that. So, all right, quarterback position. So there's one guy that's pretty questionable, Tommy DeVito. It just came out today. Something about forearm, I think, is sore, and he's questionable. They really want this guy to start though, Tony. Like They don't want Drew Lock for whatever reason throwing the football. You can make the reasons why, whether it's incentive based, they want to lose, they want to tank, obviously, but he's the one that's like pretty questionable. I know Cooper Rush was dealing with something. I think he's going to be fine though to play. And then all these other quarterbacks are obviously good to go. You got Jared Goff at the top, 6,500, Jordan Love, 6,300, Tua coming off a big performance, 6K. Your boy Caleb, 5,300. What are you doing here at the quarterback position where honestly, we've got a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of them are kind of similar outside of like Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, it's a tough position. Usually we have some upside at quarterback. I don't necessarily see a ton of upside today at quarterback or Thursday at quarterback, but it is somewhat easy because like DeVito, it doesn't really matter to me who starts for the Giants. I'm not going there. I mean, that game, you can always talk about getting different and stuff. I mean, I guess I could sell myself on a case where like both teams care so little that they want to just score because of it. I think both teams still that could have been like the Cowboys swan song too. One game where they play hard, and they'll probably play hard this week too, just because it's Thanksgiving. I am definitely confident that the Giants are done. So I like Dallas in this spot for sure. But back to the point, like I can't play those two quarterbacks. I just, no matter what happens, I'm not going there. And Jared Goff's just a guy that I just don't ever really want to play. They're just such a running team. Even when he'll get there a few games a year, but I don't see it versus the Bears. I just don't love it. So that leaves me with Jordan Love, Caleb, and Tua. And Jordan Love and Caleb can at least move a little bit. Caleb's looked way better since they changed some things with the coaching staff and different things. So for me, it's a three-man position here. And even Tua, I just don't love. So I don't know. I like Caleb Williams. I'm going to be honest. I haven't liked him much this year. I like the price. I like how he's looked. I mean, he just went for 29 last week. I like his receivers. You know me. I always like to be able to pair up some guys with him. I think it's Caleb for me. But if it's not Caleb, it's Jordan Love. And I don't love quarterback, though. So I honestly think Caleb might be my guy.
So I'll run through these guys real quick for myself. I'll start at the bottom with the two guys you talked about. I'm not playing Tommy DeVito. And this slate is one of those slates where you don't get anything really by spending down necessarily at quarterback. You got to think that the quarterback that you're taking is going to be the highest scoring quarterback on this slate, I think, right, Tony? Because the whole slate in every position, you're going to see a lot of misprices. You're going to see cheap guys that you can, get, are like, oh, that guy's mispriced. This guy's mispriced. And they do that on purpose because they know a lot of people are going to be playing this slate. They want it to be easier to build teams. So the pricing's a little softer. So you don't really get anything like it's on a main slate DFS, right, Tony? The reasoning why a lot of people played Tommy DeVito, even though we didn't, and we said it was a bad play, was why? Because he was 4K, right, Tony? And, if you get a 4K quarterback, it's like the idea of playing a $2,500 tight end. It opens up everything for you. You can spend up at all the other positions and stuff. This slate, it's not like that. So I just throw those guys out. Then you've got Jared Goff. You brought up Jared Goff, and I kind of have similar kind of takes to you. I never really play him. He is going to have 3 or 4 games a year. And he had one of those 2 games ago where he just goes nuclear and they just can't stop scoring and he scores 30 something. Those games will happen a couple times a year. So I don't think he's the worst quarterback on the slate, but he's probably someone that I'm not going to get to. So then we have 3 quarterbacks left, the same 3 quarterbacks that you had left: Jordan Love, Tua, and Caleb Williams. I swear to God, I haven't talked to Tony at all about this. So we don't know each other's takes on this slate coming in, but I hate Tua Tagovailoa in this spot against Green Bay. It's going to be cold as shit. We've seen him in the cold. He does not fare well in the cold. I think this is a really bad matchup for Tua in Green Bay, especially if it's going to be really cold like it supposedly is on Thursday. I think Thursday night. I think that is a bad spot for someone like Tua. So I'm taking Tua out for sure. And honestly, it leaves me with Jordan Love and Caleb Williams. And I don't know if I'm going to do this yet, but I might just slam Caleb Williams on all my teams. He might just be my lock quarterback here. 5,300 is nice, but his weapons, the fact that he's playing Detroit, and I can trust that Detroit's going to probably put up some points and he's going to have to score. They've looked better the last 2 weeks without Waldron there. They still probably need to get rid of Eberflus at some point, either at the end of this season or whenever. But he's at least looked better to me when I've watched him. He had a few plays last week where I was like, oh shit, like that was pretty sick. One play where he was in the pocket and started moving left, jumped over a lineman, went right, and then like didn't fall down and completed a pass. Like there were some really good athletic plays. And like you said, he can run. All of his receivers are pretty cheap. I can double, triple stack, whatever. I think it's Caleb Williams for me as well. So I think we both landed on the same, quarterback. And I would have it Jordan Love, Jared Goff, 2-3. I think they're pretty close for me. Is how I would rank them. So how do you have the outside of Love or Caleb and Love? Who's your third if you had a third?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, just to be honest, I mean, we're both talking up Caleb, and it's alarming too because he's the dead worst play on the flow chart. I finished the flow chart. It'll be up on the site for members later today. It doesn't feel good, and that counts the whole week too. Like he's the worst flow chart play of the entire week against Detroit. Detroit's just really good. So I don't feel great about saying that, but I have the same three. I mean, Caleb, Jordan Love. I mean, Tua and Goff are basically the same play to me. They're just pocket passers that I guess I would put Goff ahead. I don't know. Maybe I could be talked into just going. I just don't like those guys. I never play Goff.
Tua
I never
played
Tua.
Las Vegas and New England the last 2 weeks. Like,
yeah.
Those were his matchups. And,
I honestly think I could go off the board for my third and say like Cooper Rush over those guys just because I do think getting weird. The more I think about it, the Giants could just suck and Dallas could like totally put it on them. They showed some heart last week. I mean, they could put it on them hard.
Now, what if Drew Lock did start? Would that change your opinion?
The Giants I can't be talked into. I feel like they're trying to get a draft pick.
So Drew Lock wouldn't change your opinion.
I'm not playing Giants guys. I'm just not.
Yeah. I'm going Caleb. I don't love the Miami game just because I don't know how many. If I trusted Miami to like put up points against Green Bay, I just don't know if I can trust them, honestly.
You got perfect weather, obviously, in the first 2 games, and then you got bad cold weather. It's tough to like that green. It's a weird slate, man. There's not a single good flow chart play on the whole slate. Like there's
and that's why you telling me Caleb's the worst flow chart play
on the whole week.
Yeah, but it doesn't really like move the needle for me because I feel like they're all kind of bad.
They're all bad
in their
plays.
Own way.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
it's an ugly, which is good for a $5 milli because you can do some weird stuff.
And maybe that's right when you circle back and say maybe Cooper Rush should be like the number 2 guy. I would have more interest in Drew Lock at 3 if he started because I think
I'm just taking the same game theory I had last week though, where the Giants just quit. Like they just what if they
it don't matter. I'm playing Caleb, so it doesn't matter. He's got perfect weapons to bring it back with. Like it's just I want to play Detroit anyways. So like because you're gonna want Detroit pieces. So
yeah, I mean you're gonna have to have of all the teams, you're gonna have to have Detroit pieces for sure.
Yeah, 100%. All right, well that's quarterback. We're kind of in agreement, at least with Caleb. I don't. You sounded like you were kind of flip flopping a little bit towards the end. With the flow chart plays. So final stance, you in or out on Caleb? Because you were like, he's the worst. I like him, and then he's the worst flow chart play.
I have to like him. I just have to. He's looked pretty good. 29. I still, even though I think Detroit and Philly are like the best teams, I still think in a game on Thanksgiving, we see crazy stuff. I think Chicago can score on them.
Dude, he's played Green Bay in Minnesota the last 2 weeks. Those are some good teams. Those are some solid teams right there.
The
The
problem
fact
is
that
he's
he's looked
facing
better.
Detroit now, so he's facing another good team.
Yeah, and what do those guys all have in common? They're all in the same division. These division matchups, man, they're just weird. I swear, like they're all just weird. Like we see
I
the
have to like
Ravens.
Caleb, so I just got to go down. I'm definitely not like I always have conviction and stuff. I definitely won't be surprised if it goes bad for us, though. I'll just say that.
You're jinxing me now, and I'm slamming Caleb Williams. So listen, he was generational before the season, Tony. That's all I want to hear from you right now. He's
I love the
generational.
Bears.
He's amazing, and we're playing him. That's all I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to running back here. Running back's a little different. We got some good running back plays, Tony. David Montgomery, a little banged up. It was kind of weird. Like you watched him walk off, and his pads were off, the jersey was off, everything. And then he's like randomly back on the sideline with like the pads and the jersey. And I'm like, is this dude about to come back in? Like he might be just Iron Man or whatever. Cause I swear to God, he gets hurt and he just like looks like he's done. He'll like get carried off the field and then he'll come back running back in like 20 minutes later and be fine. So I've seen it happen so much with him. It does seem like he's very hurt though. So I don't know how you're going about that. Like, do you think David Montgomery plays? If so, would you like him? What are you doing with that? And then talk about the rest of these other like top tier running backs.
Yeah. So the good thing is we'll have all the info by kick, and we've talked about it all year. But if somehow Montgomery sits, I mean, you just have your first just stone cold lock in Gibbs. He's probably a stone cold lock for me, anyways. Just as good as he's looked. It's the best matchup of the week at running back. Honestly, it's the only really good matchup on the flow chart is Detroit's running game. They just have a dominant running game. And if Monty's banged up, like you said, running back is definitely a good position. Gibbs, slam dunk play. Achane, I would consider a pretty good play in these conditions just because the volume he's going to get, the pass game work he's going to get. Rico Dowdle is a guy that I actually love a ton this week. We just talked last week, Bucky Irving going against the Giants. Now you get Rico, who quietly like has this job. It's his job. And if he plays good, he's going to crush. I think he's like right there with Gibbs as just a slam dunk play. Josh Jacobs continues to crush. Running backs have just been awesome this year, much to my dismay. And there's not like running backs usually a position on these 2 and 3 game slates that we both like to get a little creative with. My issue for this slate, I think they're just the best plays. And I don't love Swift against this run D. I'm going more the Caleb side like you talked about. I don't love our boy Tyrone Tracy. Even though I love him as a talent, I don't love the Giants. I'm just not buying in on the Giants. I'm making other people play the Giants guys. I do like Tyrone Tracy, just not in this spot. So for me, there's 4 running backs. Gibbs, I would rank them too. Gibbs, I'm putting Rico number 2 for me just because of how much I like it and the price. The price is cheap. I think Rico's a lock for me. I'll be honest. I think he's just a great, great play. Achane and Jacobs ranked 3-4. I guess I'm going to put Jacobs. That's close for me, those two. Achane just gets all the pass game work. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 3 running back slate for me no matter what, though. I really like these 4 running backs a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you on Rico. Actually, I really like Rico a lot in this spot too. So we're together on that. I got Gibbs number 1, and I got Gibbs number 1 no matter if Monty plays. I do still think he's banged up, and I think they lean more on the Gibbs side either way. So I'll take Gibbs no matter
Hopefully
what.
he plays just so that the ownership isn't just totally out of control.
He's going to be like 75% owned if Monty's out. But either way, he's going to be high. It's just he's going to be so much higher if he's out. Achane and Jacobs, I'm kind of with you. That's pretty close because I don't like Tua, I think we see a lot of short passes, though, like a lot of short passes in this cold weather. We saw him try to pass in cold weather. What was it, last year in the playoffs, right? And it did not go well. You're going to see, and we saw it actually last week a lot of design plays to the running backs and the tight ends and stuff like that. You're going to see that again here. So Achane just seems like a good PPR play. Him and there might be like only two guys I like from Miami. He's definitely one of them. I think you can play. Swift, I have Rico ahead of him, but I still think I'm going to be high on Caleb. I still want some just because I know he's got upside in the passing game in certain spots. And this could be one of those spots because he is kind of like that where like I could see him catching like 5 or 6 balls in this spot. That wouldn't shock me, and maybe gets it in the end zone. So I'm not taking him out of my player pool, but I agree with you. I'm not playing any of these like, like the Mosterts, the Singletaries. I'm not really getting cute with these guys down here, the Jalen Wrights and stuff like that, Emmanuel Wilsons. Those guys are not in play. I'm mainly playing the top tier guys. I can get cute in some of these other positions, but running back, I definitely don't think I'm going to do that. So Gibbs 1 for me. Rico, you got him 2.
He's close to being number 1 for me anyways. I just don't know how tight pricing is going to be once I actually build.
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but especially you're getting a cheap quarterback.
If Monty is in, Rico's my number 1. If Monty's out, Rico's my number 2.
I think he's all right. Well, yeah, I like Rico too. So fuck it. We'll both go with him at 2. And then it'd be between Jacobs and Achane for the 3 spot. And I think they're really close for me. Obviously, Jacobs coming off the smash spot. Miami's defense though has been pretty solid recently too. So that's just another thing. Like Green Bay's offense is solid. It's good, but Miami's defense has been solid. I could see this being
been quietly solid all year.
I could see this being a pretty low scoring game, to be honest with you. Like, and I love I love the Packers. Like I'm a big Packers guy, but I could see it just being a sloppy 20-7 type game or something like that. Just, all Packers. But I'll go Jacobs 3, Achane 4, I guess, just because of the way I see the game going. So, all right, that's running backs here. I think a pretty cut and dry position, right, Tony? Maybe the most cut and dry of the slate, I think, out of all the positions. Because we even talked about it. Like, we love Caleb, but quarterback's not like cut and dry by any means. Like, I think running back is more, cut and dry. Wide receiver, though, this is kind of what I was talking about. Like, these receivers, they all just kind of look a little cheap, maybe outside of Neighbors for you, Tony, because 7,100 seems a little expensive. But all these other guys, Tyreek Hill's under 7K, Jameson Williams 6, DJ Moore's 5,600. Jalen Waddle's still cheap. I think people are going to play him after the big week last week. What are you doing with receiver here at the top first?
I mean, you just got a disaster of a position. In my opinion, receiver is going to be the spot that I probably disagree with everybody the most on, just because of some of the guys in it. Like Neighbors, I'm just not going to play that much of him unless I play a bunch of teams. I don't like, and Tyreek. So I've been fortunate where I just haven't played him all year. And people just keep chasing this price point with Tyreek Hill. They just keep doing it every single week, and then he just never gets there. And you know how it is with these guys. Like, if you've been playing him, you feel like you got to keep playing him. And when you're lucky enough, like we've kind of been, where I just haven't played him all year, I don't even think about playing him because, for one, I got Amon-Ra, who is a little dinged up. I mean, it would change things a lot if he was somehow out on Thursday, which I don't think he will be, but he did get a little banged up in there.
He's another one of those like Iron Man. I just feel like he's super tough and he plays through. Dude, they're like Dan Campbell. That's exactly the type of players that he like loves. Are these guys like Amon-Ra and Montgomery and stuff like that? They just always try to play.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. It just makes it so clear cut for me, though, that Amon-Ra's number one as long as he's in, and CD's right there, 1 or 2. I mean, they're just clearly the top 2 guys for me. And that's a lot of salary, though. Like, once you start, like, putting it together, which is another reason I like Caleb and Rico, the way it kind of comes together. But I just don't see it with I'm going to get lucky with the Giants because everyone always wants this team. I don't think this is one of my advantages in all sports that I think I'm good at is seeing these positions like this. It's why I'm always better late in years, always, every sport and into the playoffs. People just don't factor this enough. I swear they don't. Where like teams just they don't have the same motivation. Neighbors was crying about play calls and stuff too. I seen his interview. I just don't know why. I don't see a shootout from the Giants. I don't.
He was mad because in the beginning of the game, they were just like run. So he didn't get the ball. Yes, exactly.
Like they're trying to get a draft pick. But so those are clearly my 2. But then to talk about some of the teams just individually, I mean, the Packers are a nightmare. They just have so many guys they can throw to. And yeah, we can say we like Jaden Reed more, or Christian Watson, but you don't truly it's different every freaking week. So I don't feel confident there. I already talked about Miami. I hate Tyreek Hill. We both don't like the weather in this game. I kind of like the running backs. I just don't love that game. I don't think they're scoring. Dallas, CD Lamb. I think Dallas is a sneaky spot. We got to make sure Cooks is in or out. Looks like he might be back. I think Dallas, the more I think about it, Dallas might lay a little whooping because I don't think they're tanking, and I think they might just pound the Giants the more I'm thinking about it. So CD I like. Tolbert's cheap. Turpin continues to do stuff. So I'm interested in Dallas. Giants, I already talked about it. I just can't like the Giants. Detroit, I love everything about Detroit. J-Mo, always in play. Amon-Ra, always in play. I mean, the first game's just the answer to me for everything, which is the receivers. The 3 from the Bears are all great plays. They're all in the 5Ks. They all have upside, and they're all just very affordable. So I actually don't think there's that many receivers in play for me. I mean, what is that? You got 3 from the Bears. You got 2 from the Lions outside of punts. I mean, you could play Tim Patrick for cheap. But so just say 3 and 3. You got 2 Dallas, say you're at 8. I mean, I'm really only at like 8. If I play Jordan Love, obviously I'll play some Packers guys, but I just think it's pretty clear cut for me where I want to go as of now, unless some guys get ruled out. I mean, things could change if CD got rolled out or Amon-Ra or even, I mean, Tyreek's been questionable all year, but who knows? I just think the first game is so good for these receivers.
Yeah, the first game definitely seems like the nuts. It's like the first and last game, and I think a lot of people view the middle game similar, but like the first and last game, I think is where people are like, which game do I want to be more in on? I really like the first game, so I'm with you there. And then like the Packers receivers, you kind of talked about it, so it's tough to know. Christian Watson's looked good, but like Jaden Reed could easily pop off. They're not a receiving core though that I want to get like super into. Like I don't want like multiple of these guys. I don't think like, so I might just make it like, don't give me more than 1 of these like receivers on any of my teams. But either one is fine. And then obviously like one of these Detroit guys, you're going to probably like CD over Neighbors. I'm with you. I'm not playing Tyreek Hill. I'm probably not going to even play that much Waddle either. Like I'll leave him in, but I'm going to be lower than him. I'm going to get like all these Bears guys over someone like Jalen Waddle. So that's just going to naturally, with me, like making sure I at least double stack with the Bears and Caleb, it's going to naturally, like, I think, take down my ownership of guys like Jalen Waddle, who I would assume, and I don't know for a fact, Tony, but we assume he's going to be somewhat popular, right? Coming off the crazy game.
You would think so for sure. I mean, just looking at his numbers, 5,400 is, I mean, his projection's not good is the only like saving grace at all. His projection kind of sucks, but
I mean, well, if he's not going to be high owned, then I I would keep him kind of in the pool. So
it's so early in the week that I think some projections are going to shift, but I agree with you totally. If we feel like he's going to be owned, I think he's a terrible play. Like right now, SaberSim has him at 40% owned. There's no chance. Like there's no chance. But I think
he's 40% owned, he's a terrible play.
I mean, there's no chance he's that high though. It's got to just be the first run. There's literally no way. When you start looking at the projections, and I mean, Keenan Allen's projected way higher, Jaden's projected higher, DJ's projected higher. Even like Wicks and Christian Watson are projected high. There's just no way. It's got to come way down. If he's somehow low owned, I'm with you. I could play him.
And that's another thing as we get down past these like 5K guys, like obviously I like the Bears, but like Romeo Doubs is I think in concussion, protocol or whatever, so he might miss here. And if he misses, you're going to get some cheap Packers guys, some Dontavian Wicks, and some of these other guys like Blake Heath, I think scored a touchdown last game. They got Bo Melton. They got a bunch of them is the only problem, Tony, but one of them could have a good game in theory. You know what I mean? So that's like another little thing that kind of goes in with these Packers that makes it tough. But and it's kind of tough, like who sticks out to you. Does anyone stick out to you down there if Romeo Doubs were to be out? Is there one guy that sticks out to you?
God, I freaking hate Green Bay so much because even if he's out, which I do kind of think he'll be out, I mean, you still got Reed, Wicks, Watson, and then Bo Melton and Heath. I mean, you still got 5 guys plus Kraft. Plus, they like to hand it. I just hate Green Bay.
And they're going to use them all is the annoying part.
And like, I do think like one of them will crush. And you can definitely play Bo Melton. And I like Bo Melton more probably. But, I mean, man, I just don't need it, I don't think. Man, it's hard to know who you're going to play. If I play Love, I'll definitely just double stack and just hope to get lucky, though. That's why I don't like it as much, though.
I agree a ton. It's really tough to kind of pick out like which guy is it going to be. And maybe the answer is none of them, Tony. Maybe it's just Jaden Reed or it's Tucker Kraft or Josh Jacobs. Like maybe it's just those guys. So, that's something I want to see what happens, in a couple of days, see what the ownership, if one guy, I'm assuming Wicks gets a ton of like, steam if that happens and he's out. I'm assuming like he's the first guy that gets steam, but Bo Melton's good. My issue with all those guys too is I think they're all like pretty solid receivers, honestly.
Yeah,
like I think they're all like decent. So the one guy down here, actually there's 2 guys that are interesting for tournaments, but one guy that interests me, and I don't know if you'll like him, but just for like the large field stuff, Tim Patrick, who's 3,500, he's gotten 4 targets the last 2 games. They're going up against one of the better corners in Jalen Johnson, who I would assume is going to be on mainly Jameson Williams or Amon-Ra, one or the other. They're going to try and put him on. And we saw it with Addison last week, the tight ends, obviously, but I think someone like him, like the third receiver, Khalif Raymond's hurt too for this team. So I think that puts Tim Patrick even more like, not that Khalif Raymond plays a ton, but he plays a little bit. And maybe it's more the Amon-Ra role when he comes out. But I think Tim Patrick isn't a terrible like Millie maker stab. And, the other guy who's not a terrible stab is Kevontae Turpin, just because we've seen his upside. Like he's the other guy. So those are the 2, like outside of the Green Bay, Tony, those are the 2 like cheapies that I've got a little bit of interest in, just because, not that I need the savings.
I mean, you're going to need savings, I think, more than we thought originally. The more I look at it, the more you're going to need it.
We haven't gotten to my favorite position yet, tight end. They're all free.
If you play Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and CD, you're going to need savings.
Dude, all these tight ends are free. I'm going to spend on a quarterback, defense, and tight end. They're all free.
I mean, I'm just saying, I put them in there though. If you play Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and CD, you don't have salary left. I'm just telling you.
Amon-Ra, CD. Hold on. So let's
it's thin. It's somewhat thin.
I got
it's doable. Defense. I'm not saying it's not doable, but you're going to need to punt at least one person.
Okay, so So I put in, because we like Caleb Williams, right? So I put Caleb in at quarterback. I put Gibbs, Amon-Ra, CD. Am I missing anyone else?
I mean, I just put Rico in because he's cheap
No,
too.
but I'm just saying the top tier stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I put I don't like the Giants D, but I just put like a middle tier D in, so 2,800 just to see. It gives me
Yeah. I mean, the Packers and
47.75.
Cowboys are 3,100 and 3K. So, like, those are
Okay, so
middle
I'll put
tier
the
margins.
Packers in there. That's fine. 47.25. Like, we're gonna spend tight end. The most expensive tight end's 4,300.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think when you look at it, once you actually start finishing those teams, you're like, oh wait, if I take a mid tier to cheap defense and I take a cheap tight end, which you kind of have to because they're all pretty cheap, you're gonna end up being like, oh, this fits. But the real way to get different is to fade one of these top two receivers and just say one of them doesn't hit the winner. I'm not saying that will, but I think that's the way. And maybe it's doing like Jamison Williams and Tim Patrick over Amon-Ra. You know what I'm saying? Or I see the chat talking about Sam Laporta. Maybe it's Sam Laporta in one of those receivers and no Amon-Ra. Like,
Yeah.
it could easily be something like that. So that's the thing with wide receiver. Before we get to tight end, though, Tony, is there anyone else that I didn't bring up that you wanted to touch on down here at the bottom?
No, I agree with what you were saying.
Just a reminder, too, guys, we're almost done, and Giblets44 is the promo code. We got 3 Wildcat tickets that we're going to be giving away courtesy of IPT 007. And you need Venmo. 1, that's the first stipulation. And 2, you have to be a member at Rumpier Sports. We're going to be giving one person a ticket who signs up during the show, screenshots that they signed up, and at me and Tony on Twitter. So if you're just coming into this show now, and you kind of missed the beginning part of it, you still have time. Sign up, use the code Giblets44, get your 44% off. You can sign up for a week, a month, whatever you want. Screenshot it and send it to us on Twitter and at me or Tony at JSURab, at Big T44 DFS on Twitter. And we'll be picking those at the end of this show. So in a little bit. All right, tight end here. Let's go to the top. Jonnu Smith, Tony. This dude just keeps crushing. I mean, literally he's had 31 and 23. And he looks like the number one guy outside of Achane, when you watch Miami play. Like, they're trying to get this guy the ball. It's like, it's not like fluky plays a lot. The one touchdown he had, the second touchdown against Vegas, that was kind of fluky. That was like a miscommunication. He was wide open, ran for the touchdown. But like last week against New England, that was all like, a lot of it was designed to get this dude to football and just run after the catch and stuff like that. So not 8 and 11 targets. What are you doing with Jonnu Smith?
Yeah, I mean, he's looked good, and it's frustrating because early in the year, that's kind of how I envisioned them running their offense once they got him. I loved him, and he just wasn't involved a few of the weeks, which was annoying. And he looked great, though, so you have to like him. And like you said, tight end looks awesome. I think Mary Ferguson misses again, I'm pretty sure. Schoonmaker is a great play, just like he was last week at 3,400. Laporta, who everyone likes, is 4,100. I like Jonnu the most too, so I'm glad you liked him because he's the most expensive, but he's only 4,300, and he should be like in the 5Ks for sure. And Laporta should be in the 5Ks too. So I like both of them. I mean, if somehow Mary Ferguson does play, I mean, he's 3,900, which is crazy. All these guys, just like you said, are just crazy priced. Even Cole Kmet, who I don't like, is too cheap. Theo Johnson, if I was going to play a Giant, is cheap. All these guys, tight ends, are just way, way too cheap. Better duo than what?
I just saw better duo, and I was like,
the Giants
I'm
picked
in.
up Dolchich.
Oh my God, really? Can he actually play? Like, is there a way?
No
way
chance.
he plays.
You got to know how to like the plays and stuff as a tight
He's going to
end.
get hurt like 2 plays in anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, so Jonnu was the other Dolphin outside of Achane that I was like, I actually like don't mind, just because a lot of the stuff is like short, kind of closer to the line of scrimmage. And I think that's a lot of the stuff they're going to try and do against the Packers. Not to say it's going to work as easily against New England or Las Vegas. I think the Packers are a lot better of a defense, but he's getting a lot of design plays. Now, I do like Sam Laporta. My favorite tight end, though, Tony, is Tucker Kraft. I think this is a Tucker Kraft 30. That's why I didn't really talk up any of the Green Bay wide receivers. I think Tucker Kraft's in a really good spot here, 3,700. And I like Cole Kmet too. These are solid tight ends, though. Tucker Kraft had that big stretch, but he's still been pretty good and pretty like serviceable. He hasn't had the big upside game of Jonnu Smith, but they're there. Like, I think he has that type of upside in him. And like you said, like they're all cheap, so I can just play whoever I want. But I think you can also play 2 of them. And this is where I think you can also be different, because like you said, a lot of people are going to play 3 running backs. I think that is going to be a general strategy that most people take. And I could see double tight end on a slate like this. If you're trying to spend up for all those studs at wide receiver and running back, double tight end could ship, because I like a lot of these guys. I mean, even Cole Kmet, he got 10 targets last game. I'm not a big Cole Kmet guy, but I'm playing Caleb Williams, and he will have a few random games where he just goes nuts, catches a touchdown or 2. You got Schoonmaker if Ferguson's out, which kind of seems like he might be out again. He's still in the concussion protocol.
He's going to be out on a short week. I mean, unless Jerry pulls some strings.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, well, I kind of like playing 2 of these guys, to be honest with you. But I really like Tucker Kraft. He's my 1. I got Jonnu and Laporta, 2, 3, and then Kmet would be 4. So it's kind of how I see it. Schoonmaker would still be 5, but yeah, that's kind of how I rank them. Is there any like weird tight ends you could play, Tony? Like any of these guys down here, like under 3K?
I mean, I don't see it. You can always play these guys just because tight ends score in weird ways. We see it all the time. But these other guys are just too cheap where you don't have to pay that much more. So, and again, it's a point slate. Like, you're not going to be able to – you're going to need points from these guys. It's not normal where if they get like 4 or something, I don't think you're going to be good on this slate. So,
Yeah,
I
like
think
you need span 4 to catch a touchdown. Like
it still might not be good if he doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, that's the problem. He did play a good amount, though. I will say, for like a backup tight end, he was out there a decent amount. So
it's the same issue I have for him as last week, though. Like, Schoonmaker's not going to be like crazy popular, and he's only 700 more. So I guess I just don't understand the pivot, really. Just Schoonmaker's just so much better of a could span forward outscore him, sure. I mean, anything can happen in that spot, but I mean, Schoonmaker's got to be the better play. I mean, minimum 9 out of 10 times. I mean,
yeah, bro, it's simple. Like you just put it on, like, not cold. Like you don't want it cold, right? You don't want like your teeth to get cold when you start sipping on it. You don't want any of that shit, right? You just turn it a little towards the not hot, but the like in the middle. You make sure it's right. You got to put your hand in. You got to test it, make sure it's right, and then you friggin' put it in the cup. Let it sit for a little bit. Start sipping on it. So. Make sure you get a wine glass, because apparently that tilts Big T more than anything else. So make sure you put it in a wine glass, something like that. I mean, you can do what you want, but something like that. Yeah. So lukewarm tap water will suffice, Rick. Tell him, Rick. Let him know. All right. So are you in on the double tight end strategy, or are you out on the double tight end strategy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be the chalk, but yeah, I'm in on it. I mean, they're just
is that going to be the chalk?
I mean, they're all just so cheap. Whenever they're all cheap, but it doesn't mean it's not the way to go still. I mean, you have literally, I would say every team has a playable tight end. I mean, they're just so cheap that, yeah, I'm in on it with you for sure. They're all really good plays. I mean, I literally think all 6 teams have a guy that could end up in the winner, and that's the only position that I think that.
That's my issue with this. Is why I was never, when you were talking about how you're like, I'm a little worried about spending. This is why I was
still
never
struggling with spending, even after you keep saying it, because it doesn't fit as easy as I'd like. Because I need a Bears receiver too, and when I just start, your answer is the best one, where you come off one of those 2 receivers.
I'm
Makes
telling you, I
everything
think
work.
that's the answer.
I want to play those 2 though. I think they're the 2 like ceiling plays of the whole slate.
I get it, but when you come off those 2 is when you really the
it
builds,
opens up for sure.
The unique builds will open up for sure when you come off those 2. Like if you were trying to be unique.
I kind of like your point too of playing JMO, and the real unique build though is a build you're always going to love more than me, but Caleb with none of his pass catchers and just go with it, because that's what's giving me the most problems. Is
playing like Swift or something like that with him.
Not Swift. I mean, maybe you play or play Cole Kmet as your only one or something. I don't know. Like not playing any of those receivers is going to be weird though, because basically right now, I don't see how you could play a receiver in flex with the way running back is and with the way tight end is cheap. So if you play the 2 stud receivers, you only got 1 spot left. So if that spot's a Bears guy, you're just kind of hamstrung where you can go with the rest of your stuff.
Because I get it though. Like it's hard to play 2 Bears receivers because then it's tough to play the 2 studs. So you're like
I have to play of all things. I think I have to play those 2 receivers. I just feel like I have to.
See, that's the difference between us. I don't feel like I have to play CD.
I do like. Well, CD's like my lock. Like I haven't been playing.
I don't feel like I have to play one of those 2.
I liked your strategy of not playing Amon-Ra, but playing JMO and Tim Patrick or Laporta. 2 guys besides Amon-Ra and Gibbs, though. So where you got the
whole offense outside of that main guy, right?
That's a weird build, though. Like if you play Caleb with all those Lions, it's a weird build. That's one way to get different.
That's why I kind of like the idea of playing Caleb with all those Lions, but you play Swift and Kmet with Laporta. Like you do something like that where it's like
there's a lot of good plays, which makes like if you play Swift, who are you not playing?
Well, I would play Gibbs in that lineup, so I would have to not play Rico on that team. That because I think I'd play Swift and Kmet with Laporta and Gibbs, and like so I'd have that. That'd be a crazy like unique combo right there, though. Like Caleb,
the guys that I think are like 100% locks are Gibbs and CD. Like I mean, they're like 100% locks for me. Like there's no way I'm not playing those 2.
Yeah, see, I'm going to try not to get into the locks with the wide receiver because I think that's how you get some of those like super unique builds that no one's going to have.
3 receiver spot. If you think tight end and running back's good like we do, there's only 3 spots for receivers. So, I mean, you don't
think about that though. So if you think that though, like if you double stack with 2 of the 3 Chicago wide receivers, you only got 1 spot left for wide receiver.
It would be Amon-Ra for sure. I can't see myself double stacking the Bears guys. I can't see myself doing it.
But I can't see the field doing it that much either.
No, I mean I don't think they will either. They can't. It's impossible.
This is where if you fade one, it opens up those builds. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying with the type of builds. And I think a triple stack wins anyway. So I think there's probably 3. From it, but the unique stuff is if you get like Caleb with only 1 guy.
I know. Watch me win with a no stack, just nobody with him.
You could.
Because quarterback, there's no upside. If all the quarterbacks get like 18 apiece, it's just you don't need the correlation as much.
I struggle to see like Rush and Rico kind of getting there. I don't know. Tony,
I like Dallas more and more. I just think the Giants are toast, man. I just think I could see McCarthy being the idiot he is, just running the score up. You can't picture that, like Dallas just laying the wood.
I know I could picture them winning by 35. I could totally picture that 100%.
We got it needs to be a New Year's show with the misses.
Yeah, they'll get they'll pour some wine and they'll talk about roster construction or some shit like that.
They should build a team on air.
That would actually be hilarious. All right, we got to pick the winners for this contest. Oh, did you have any leans on like the games just in general? Like, do you like certain sides? Like for me, I'll just go first, but I like the Bears at plus, I think it's 10 right now.
10.5 on the site we don't talk about.
10.5 on the site we don't talk about, but hashtag DK partner. And then I like the Cowboys with you. I think they win, so I'm on the Cowboys side there. And then I'm obviously on the Pack, and I think you can still get them at 3. I know they're 3.5 on DK Sportsbook. I think you can still find 3. Tony,
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, on unabated, you can see we got 3 at Caesars and 3 at MGM.
Okay, so yeah, you can still find 3 if you want. So those are the sides I'm on: Bears, Dallas, and Green Bay. Tony, and I like the under in the Green Bay Miami game. A good deal. Tony, what do you like?
I like the over in the Lions game. What's the total? The total is 48.5. 48 on or 48.5. Yeah. I like the over in that. I like the Cowboys are my play of the day for sure. I love the Cowboys, and I like the under with you in the late game. So I don't have a take on the sides on the first and third game, but I'll say the over early, the under late, and the Cowboys. And I like the over in the Cowboys game because I think they go over by themselves.
That's a stipulation. Let them do a 333 lineup. Let the wives do a 333. That'd be a little risky. I don't know. Maybe. Tony, would you have faith letting Amber do a 333?
I mean, no.
Like full autonomy. Like you can't say anything. It's yours, but it's not.
If I could like pull up the like projections, I think as long as they could have something to look at. If they didn't have anything, I don't think they could.
Tony's like, yeah, if she could pull up my cores in my player pool,
then, can they use the content?
Yeah, they can use Rum Pure content.
They can use the content, then we can't. I mean, she watches the football games, but yeah, I mean, she doesn't ever like look at the price. I don't know. They could build. They probably beat us.
No way my wife could beat me. I'll just say that right now.
No shot. Like and said.
Oh yeah, SaberSim. No way they could use. Well, my wife couldn't use Saber. Amber could probably figure it out. There's no way my wife could.
She couldn't figure out how to actually use it. She could figure out how to like click a position and look at the projection. Yeah. She couldn't figure out how to use it though. No way. Not without instruction.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. All right, we got to pick the winners of the drawing.
There we go.
For the 333 ticket. Their promo code Giblets44 if you want to become a member. You can use that promo code up until Monday. And I'm sure we'll get rewatches for this. So anyone who watches, later on or closer towards, Turkey Day and kickoff, obviously, sign up, Giblets44. Get in now, 44% off your first monthly or weekly payment. Use that code. And that code stay until next Monday. So get in this week. A lot of sports to talk about here. All right, Tony, we need a winner from Twitter, which is one of the people that signed up during the show. And then you need a winner and I need a winner. Yeah. I got my winner already. Do you have your winners?
If you got it, read it first.
Yeah. So my guy is going to be, because we got to make sure they're members, right? My guy, Dub KJ,
yeah,
my man, he's always in Discord. He's always good mojo all the time. Great member. He posted a picture, got the hairline of a Monchichi. I don't even know what that is, but sends a picture of me looking like a monkey. So I will appreciate him making fun of me and say, you get the 333 ticket, my friend.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. So we had 3 people sign up during the show on Twitter. Grayson, Frank, and Avery. Let's look here. So I'll just put you all 3 in. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to put it in the randomizer here real quick.
Me neither, Alec. Me neither.
1, 2, 3.
How many people do we have?
Just 3. Avery, Frank, and Grayson. 1, 2, 3. Boom,
Ooh,
boom,
I
boom.
bet he picks Grayson.
No, I'm putting it in the randomizer. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sure. The randomizer. All
Now
right.
if I
Yeah.
pick Grayson, everyone's going to think it's cheating. You're ruining
Show us.
it.
Show us. Show us the randomizer right now. I want to see it.
Hold on.
Grayson's got such a leg up. I put it like 75%. More like 99.9%. Yeah, I agree with Spencer. Rigged.
Okay. It's in. 1, 2, 3. What'd I say? Frank Avery's 1, Frank's 2, Grayson's 3.
Let's hear it.
Right here.
He's not going to pick Grayson now.
See how it's 2 right now? I'm going to hit it. Where do I hit it at? I can't see it. Where'd it go?
I don't know where it went. You jacked it up.
Dang it. It's because I was trying to show it the other way.
Well, you got to do a better job.
God.
So you got to stand up, Tony, and go like over it as you show us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is right here. Now it's 6, but 2. It was 2. It wasn't Grayson. It was, who did I say was 2?
Oh, shit. Who is 2?
Frank. Frank Corona was 2. Frank Corona gets the Twitter.
Let's go, Frank.
It wasn't Grayson, and then it was, where did it go? He said, you saw it. I was holding it up to the screen. I don't even know what happened. But
Big T fucking with people. Big T's fucking with people. Shout out to Frank.
Somebody just oh, let me get a crack. So who should I'll tell you what I'm going to do to make sure it's a member. Whoever posted in the live show chat first gets it.
Oh, shit. Well, they got to post anything? Just post something?
Just get in there. Oh, there it is. Easy Money. He's the one that just made fun of me. Easy Money just made fun of me. What's the quick trigger?
Easy Money. You know what? Easy Money deserves to win because he picked his Ravens against all of us, all of the Run Pure family in the chat. Even some of the other Ravens fans picked against their own team and picked the Chargers. But Easy Money stuck true to his team. And you know what, Tony? I love a guy who can stick true to his team no matter what. I love that.
Easy Money is probably Grayson's burner, he said. Oh, man. I like that. I kind of like that where you just randomly say first one to type in there because it's whoever's got the Discord up.
Yeah, it's just whoever's quickest. You know, Easy Money, he's always in the Discord. So he's
that was a quick trigger because they all came in at 4:31, but he just beat them in there barely.
If I could have bet, I would have said Easy Money or Beanair would have been the first one.
God, I'm so glad it wasn't Beanair. He doesn't.
Damn it, Beanair. You didn't come through.
Should have won.
God damn it.
So do you need to send the 3 winners to our boy?
So you guys need Venmo, and I'm gonna actually I need the Discord names of so I know Easy Money, I know Dub KJ. I just
reach
need
out
the
to JSU.
Yeah. So Frank, if you're not planning on getting in the Discord and you're watching us right now, you got to shoot me a message on Twitter at me. Let me know. And I'll get IPT 007 to hit you up. But Discord's the easiest. So if you could get in Discord and then just shoot me a DM, that'd be the best way to do it because he's going to reach out to each one of you guys directly through direct message.
I got to say, though, because they bring up a good point in here. Not only did Easy Money win, he typed 2 words. Everyone else only did 1 word. He said, I'm here. Nothing. Everyone else did 1 word. He's taunting the field now. He got 2 words in before anyone got 1 word. That's a winner right there.
Yeah, that's impressive. That shows he like just knew it, Tony. He
Next
like
time
knew
I might
he
do
was
like first one to get 10 words in, and then just see who can.
The only problem is now the chat's going to be ready for it. Like
That's
everyone's
fine.
going
They
to
can
have
be ready. We'll throw them off, and I'll be like, who can send a Twitter message first or something? And then they got to pull up Twitter real quick.
They'll be messaging you. They'll be messaging you. Appreciate that, Spencer. I will not fix it until my haircut appointment. Then it will be fixed. And then I'm sure people will just make fun of my haircut. So it just goes on and on. But at least I know the wife likes it when I get a haircut. So that's the only part. It's like the buildup, Tony. You know, that's why I like it. Like you wait a long time, but the buildup is great because then my wife's super happy for a few days when I get my haircut. She's like super happy.
Preheating the oven, they call that.
That's how you get it. Either way, I get the job done, so it doesn't really matter. But she does like it when I get my haircut. So that's all I got to say about that. All right, we got to get out of here. NBA starts in about an hour and a half. So if you are a member, NBA show, me and Big T will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about the in-season tournament games, 5-game NBA slate over on DraftKings. So come hang out with us. Don't forget, if you're one of the winners, Frank specifically, get in the Discord or at least shoot me a message on Twitter so we can get you in touch with IPT 007 and he can get you the 333 ticket. So appreciate him giving out those tickets. That's friggin' awesome. Also, shout out to all the other members who crushed. I know Slick Native crushed. I think he won. He had the optimal yesterday for 14K. I know our guy Chris was in the Discord chat. He had a really good night. We had a bunch of winners actually, Tony. I can't really name every single one of them, but a bunch of people crushed and members. A lot of members crushed, which is what we love to see, obviously. So shout out to all the members that crushed it. Hopefully we can do the same thing on this Turkey Day slate. Tony, final words before we get out of here.
Nope. Excited for the week. Have some good football. Hopefully we get a bunch more winners. Let's get hot this week.
Yes, sir. Let's get hot. Hit that like button if you enjoy this show. Even if you're watching later, obviously not live, but watching later, hit the like button for us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get in on the winners, Giblets 44. For Big T and myself, JSU. We'll hopefully see you in the Run Pure Sports Discord. We're out here.